Hi, I'm Eric Lanask. We're here at Editor's Day in Santa Clara, and joining me today from Envigilant Systems is Mark Brule. Mark, great to have you. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Eric.
So, Envigilant Systems, something that Allied Telesis started about a year ago, I think. Where did that come about?
Well, so where it came from is the recognition that the Internet of Things that's happening all around us is driving a lot of data, putting it into a lot of data silos, and the need for a platform, really, to integrate data and share it. So it's built on some data exchange technology. Mm-hmm. It was driven by a request that came from actually in Levi Stadium. So Santa Clara PD runs the command post there. They've got their video cameras within the stadium. They approached the VTA. This is the Santa Clara Valley Transportation Authority. They run the light rail here. Runs physically adjacent to the stadium. The people in the stadium asked if there was a way they could share the video data from the platforms on the train lines. And since we provide the network hardware for the VTA, they came to us and they said, "What can you do about this?" And we said, "Well, we have this Envigilant platform that is meant to collect data, but also to share it." So we were able to set up a data sharing system where the video data and other data that is collected on the train lines can actually be viewed live in the command post in Levi's at the same time.
Very interesting. Why was the Envigilant platform a logical next step for Allied Telesis?
Well, Allied Telesis is a switching company. So media converters, switches, routers, high availability chassis, that's our DNA. Gets us up to layer 3 and 4 in the OSI stack. We recognized that to really make use of the data coming out of the Internet, you had to get up to layers 6 and 7 into the presentation and the application layer. So I'm a software guy working in a hardware company. Came here specifically to set up the data exchange mechanisms to really move the switching all the way up into the levels of the stack to make it really useful. So this is a natural extension to say, we know how to connect computers and devices. Now we want to connect applications and start really making a full virtualized network and server environment.
So you mentioned all the data that's out there to be collected. What, in addition to, and you talked about the Levi Stadium example, what other kind of things can the platform help businesses do with their data?
Sure. What we've put together is to complement our switching. We now have compute resources that we can deploy anywhere. We have a range of platforms that go from the data center all the way out to mobile devices. So we have this is called the EtherGrid, is our brand name for it. The EtherGrid Mini is a fanless, fully ruggedized, IP66 compliant, vibration and dirt tolerant device that can go into vehicles. So now we can pull this cloud computing all the way out to the edge, put it into vehicles, so we can capture sensor data inside a vehicle, inside a bus or a train, video data, sensors that you might want to put in there, locate in the vehicle itself. We can put video analytics to count how many people are getting on and off, what gender are they, but also typical DVR capabilities to capture the data for forensics, but also with a location device know where that set of cameras is, vehicle, and communicate that back in real time. So I can go onto a map, see where the vehicle is, see what sensors it has into it, and in real time I can drill into a camera on the bus, for instance, and see the video data over the cellular backhaul. So we capture all the data, so that at the end of the day when you pull into the depot, you've got a full recording of high def of everything that happened. But in the moment, if something happens on a vehicle, bus driver hits his panic button or some reason, you can drill in real time and say, "Hey, what's going on in there? Let me see." So this is all part of these little devices that we've got that has coined this phrase Internet of Things. It's really the Internet of Stuff. We don't want just the things. We want the data around the things. And this, being able to put processing out at the edge, capture those data, and then process it in real time, that's what really is going to drive the value from this trend that we've gone on.
Wow. Internet of Stuff, I like that. So on a more general or broader scale, aside from the Levi Stadium example, what kind of benefits, what kind of things are you looking to do, or access to data? What are you looking to do with data that you're able to collect?
So with the data that we can tap into existing crime databases, for instance, or security encounters, or maintenance issues. Any data that's got time and space components to it. The goal here ultimately is to improve situational awareness. We're approaching this first from the safety and security standpoint. So we want to give the ability for multiple jurisdictions. And think about Levi's Stadium. You've got Santa Clara Sheriff out on the train lines. Mm-hmm. That's their jurisdiction because it goes through multiple townships. Santa Clara PD is inside the stadium. You've got multiple jurisdictions that are coming together. And this happens all over the place. And one of the lessons we learned from 9/11 was the failure was in exchange of data, right? FBI, CIA, NSA, they all knew pieces of the puzzle and never exchanged it. So that led to the development of a framework called the NIEM framework, the National Information Exchange Model. This is a whole data exchange framework the federal government has come by. We've integrated that into our stack so that we can not only exchange information with applications, but we can get it to public safety. The goal is to drive better situational awareness and keep people safe.
Is the platform something that you're offering separate from other Allied Telesis services?
Allied Telesis offers products, networking products and support for your network. We will monitor and maintain your network remotely. Envigilant comes and offers a software layer onto that, so it completes the picture to give you a full solution for the problem you're trying to solve.
So it's going to be a complete package, not okay. Yeah. Understood. What are you looking forward to in the future? What other plans are there for the software?
Well, so the software, we're continuing to evolve it. We're moving into the transportation pretty aggressively with the mobile solution that we've put together. We think we've got a good offering there. From there, we're going to be looking at adding other devices. We've got indoor gunshot detection. We've got some other sensors that we're bringing online, and we're always looking for new software partners because the goal of Envigilant is to integrate the applications and give you a common view for things. So the goal is to increase the capabilities by finding other partners that do things well.
And how do you reach some of these organizations that you're working with, or do they come to you?
No, we're new enough that we got to go to them. And if they're coming to us, they're coming looking for switching devices. So we've got a pretty aggressive campaign. We're out. We had actually a press release that was done by the White House that talked about the Levi's project and mentions us as the technology provider that made it happen. So we're out doing events and trying to get the name out, talking directly to transportation providers, actually launching this internationally. So doing a lot of travel to get out in front of people.
Wow, very exciting. Certainly Levi's Stadium, known as a state-of-the-art facility. Now we know just how state-of-the-art.
That's right.
And Mark, thank you so much for being with us here this morning.
My pleasure. Thank you, Eric.